On this episode of Samp&Chance, we are joined with one and only Mike D from the 313 Detroit in the house. SummerSlam is in. What's going on, brother? SummerSlam's in his backyard. We're going to break down the show and give our thoughts and our predictions. So stay tuned. And thank you for letting us into your ears. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson. Beside me, I got the man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. And right below us, ladies and gentlemen, a special guest all the way from Detroit, Michigan. You can catch his show, Wrestling from the 313. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike D. Mike D, how are you, my man?
What up, though? What's good with you guys?
Everything is beautiful. Chance Michaels, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How about you guys? How you guys doing?
Everything is beautiful,
I'm chilling, man.
Chilling. Here we are 2 sleeps away from SummerSlam. Mike, it's in your backyard, brother, man. What's the vibe like?
Man, the vibe is crazy. It's Tuesday. I say a couple of more days once.
No, sorry, bro. Sorry, Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah.
Once the wrestlers start coming into town and they start roaming around downtown, that's when you really gonna start seeing the buzz. But I know I'm excited. I know Detroit's excited, and I think SummerSlam is gonna be a real good show.
Fantastic, man. And how time flies, man. I just feel like Clash at the Castle just happened, but we're almost a year removed from that. Wow. Like, we're already getting ready for WrestleMania again, it feels. But guys, why don't we just get right into it and let's break this show down and give our thoughts and our predictions so everyone could put their money on the right guys, I guess, right? So let's start with the announced, I guess, what do you call it? Battle Royal here. Just recently announced the only guy that we know for sure that's going to be in this match will be LA Knight. Probably AJ Styles, Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, names like that will be in it. Kind of hard to predict, but based on what you guys know, who do you guys think is going to take this thing?
Take it, brother.
You say LA. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You start it off.
All right. You say LA Knight is in the Battle Royal for sure. I think he's going to win it. The fans love him right now. I think right now, outside of Cody, Seth Rollins, and Roman, he's one of the top stars right now that's over with the crowd. So I think this will be his moment. Unfortunately, I wish he would have been going up against Austin Theory for the US title. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna go with LA Knight to win this Battle Royal.
All right. How about you, Chance?
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be LA Knight. He's over. It's almost too obvious. I'd like to hear who else is in the Battle Royal to make an actual prediction, but for the names you threw out, I have to go with LA Knight.
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. The problem with LA Knight is this. He's got heat on him backstage, which is why he didn't win Money in the Bank, which is why where every opportunity you think he's going to start getting that monster push, it doesn't happen. Reason is, like I was saying just now, it's because of heat backstage. Now, I don't know what that heat is. I don't know where it's come from or who it's for, but it's enough that they haven't given him that push. That being said, Vinny loves him. So it's only a matter of time. Now, I will say LA Knight as well, because like I said, based on what Chance said, we don't know who else is in this thing. I would say maybe a Karrion Kross would be the other guy that I would think of, because that's another guy they want to give a push to. So I would probably say it would be either Karrion or LA Knight, depending, what mood the backstage is in with him.
If you can only make a prediction, you can only pick one. Who's it going to be?
Okay, Bill, you got 2 LA Knights. I'm gonna go Karrion Kross.
Okay.
The thing with Karrion Kross is like you don't know where they're going with him, because when he came back, they were trying to push him, and you heard in the internet that they were going to push him. He was going to be like one of the top heels, but with this bloodline story, and you really don't know who your competitors for the championship are. So it's just like. Karrion Kross is like he's kind of up and down, but
yeah.
he could be a favorite to win the Battle Royal, but I'm gonna stick with LA Knight.
Yeah. No, you know what? The thinking about it, I'm gonna go with Karrion Kross even more, just based on what you said alone, because I mean that's just another guy. Those are two guys in line for a super push. The question is which one's
I
gonna
don't
get it,
think
right?
Carrion's in line for super push. I think he's pretty dull, lackluster, and boring. I don't think he's in line for a push at all, in my opinion. I think he's just kind of just floating around. It's kind of
Yeah.
can be like a Corbin kind of thing. He just hasn't. The fans haven't gravitated towards him.
Well, let's
So
see
that's
what
why
they
I think
do.
it's
Like
LA, right? But I
yeah.
could be wrong. We'll find out.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out, guys. Let's move on to the next one. I know you're looking forward to this one, especially Chance. Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Let's keep in mind that Logan Paul, outside of one WrestleMania match, has lost every match that he's had on any show that he's been on. One could argue this is due time for Logan to get a win. But at the same time, do you want to, what would a Logan Paul win do to Ricochet's status? You know what I mean? Considering that he's there full time. But that being said, I almost feel that you give Logan the win in this, and I think he will win. And that will just develop that story even further. They could take it to SummerSlam or all the way to Survivor Series if they wanted to.
Yeah, I agree. I think Logan Paul, is going to win this. Because like you said, all the matches that he's had, he hasn't won. So I think this will be the right opponent for him to get a victory, because we knew he wasn't going to beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. We knew he wasn't going to beat Roman Reigns when he went up against him.
Yeah.
So
and his only victories come with a tag team with The Miz.
Yeah. So I think as far as in a one-on-one match, I think Ricochet is the perfect opponent for him. And even if Ricochet took the loss, I really don't think it's going to do nothing. It's not going to drop him. But even if he wins, I don't think it's going to push him up. Like, I think if he was going up against a caliber opponent, like if he was going up against Gunther or somebody and won that match, title or non-title match, I think that would bring Ricochet stock up. But Logan Paul, I think it'll just be a good match, and it'll be a good match. A lot of high moves, high spots, and everything. So, but I'm gonna go with Logan Paul to win this
one. Right. And Chance?
Yeah, Logan Paul all the way. I mean, it won't matter if Ricochet wins or loses because he's kind of just a mid-carder anyways. This match will have a couple of the moves on the night, I think. They're going to do a big spot. It's going to go viral. Logan's got to get the win. He's a bigger star. He puts a lot of eyeballs on the screen. He's got all of his YouTube fans that come to watch him, buy the pay-per-views. They got to give it to Logan just because of that. It's going to be an amazing match. One of the best of the night, I think, just because these guys are so talented and so athletic. So I pick Logan.
Well, so we're all Logan Paul. I will add to my prediction. I don't think it's going to be a clean pin. I think there will be something to allow him to win, to protect Ricochet as well, like get the victory. But if you guys watched Raw last night, you would have seen that, he took shots at his wife now, his fiance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're adding that angle into it as well now.
By the way, last
night. No, it was good. It was great, right? So I could see this going further past SummerSlam. So Logan Paul with the win, but I think by cheating somehow. I don't think it's going to be clean.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right. Let's move on. Now, this is a fight I'm actually looking forward to. A really cool match. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. MMA rules apparently are in play here. I'm going to say it straight up. Baszler is going to kick her ass.
Yeah. Because from what I've been hearing with Ronda Rousey, she's supposed to be leaving, or she wants to leave.
Yeah.
And I just think people are not really feeling Ronda like that anymore. And I think Shayna deserves better. I think she should at least been a women's champion at least one time. And I'm gonna go with Shayna. I just hope how they set up the ring, that's gonna be interesting. If they do any type of setup to it, I just hope it's not one of them things where they take the ropes off and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Kind of like a jiu-jitsu mat kind of competition, right?
Yeah. I just hope that they leave everything how it is, unless they're gonna have like an octagon or something on the side somewhere near the entrance ramp. But it's going to be a real physical match. I think this could be a sleeper as one of the top matches on the card.
Yeah, I know. I tend to agree with that. What about you, Chance?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be Shayna Baszler if all the stories are true that Ron is leaving for a while. So it's going to go to Shayna. It's going to be hard hitting, be some hard shots in there, but I don't think they're going to do it at Auckland. I think let's do it in the ring, just pride kind of thing.
Well, they might do it in the ring like that. Who knows, right? I mean, it's SummerSlam. I mean, that's just
The
one of
only
the
thing
4
with
shows.
these kind of things is when you try to do MMA and boxing and wrestling, it looks so cheesy and it never comes off good. So hopefully they can be the exception and make this look as realistic as possible. Because usually when we do this kind of stuff, it looks god awful. So I hope I'm wrong and they put on a good show. But none of this stuff has ever been good that I can remember.
Well, here's
I hope they.
Sorry, go ahead.
I hope they don't have the ring look like NXT Underground. That's what I'm hoping that they don't.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know what, Chance, I thought about that as well. And I think, you know, with these two, because of their MMA background, because of the work they've done together, their closeness, their ability to work off of each other. I mean, you got to figure these guys have rolled around a lot on the mats, right? This fight's going to be snug, man. I don't think, I think there's going to be a couple of receipts that will be handed to each other here. So I think it's going to be a snug, hard fight. And I think they're going to pull it off. But I know what you're saying, right? It's kind of hard with one guy who actually is, you know, got that discipline in his background. So. But both these girls have it, right? So
we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good.
You know, for sure. All right, let's go into the other one in here. Cody versus Brock Lesnar. Right off, I think Cody wins. It's the rubber match. He's the one going for the titles at Mania again. So it just makes sense. It's not going to hurt Brock because Brock will come back for whoever's next. But yeah, this time Cody wins and he wins clean.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wish Brock was going to win, but he's not. Cody will win the rubber match. It won't hurt Brock at all. It's going to be a hard-hitting match. I mean, quick match probably under 8 minutes, couple slams, get their finishers and get out of there. But Cody will do it. How he wins, I don't know. But Cody's going to go up on 2-1 on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cody. You know, he's still telling the story, and right now I think he's the top baby face, so he's got to get this win and just continue telling that story on the road to getting that championship at WrestleMania. Because that's all they're really doing is just giving him matches and putting him in small storylines until it get close to WrestleMania and he goes up against Roman again. It's definitely going to be a hard-hitting match.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely going to go to Suplex City a couple of times. And it'll probably be top 5 match on the card.
Yeah.
They're making Cody earn this because he's getting tossed around by Brock pretty hard the last few times he's been out there. So he's paying his dues.
I kind of picture this fight in a way playing out the way Daniel Bryan versus Brock played out. Like where Brock just John Cena'd him for majority, for most of that. And I'm thinking, okay, this is it. Like, stop it now. But then for him to come back and get his offense in the way he did, right? I mean, but he'll win this time though, in terms of being Cody, right? But I think he's going to get his ass kicked for a good 10 minutes. Man. Oh yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable to watch too. It's going to be one of those like, okay, stop. Even though we know what we're watching, they're doing a great job when we're asking them to stop.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be a fun
one. Right. All right, let's move on to probably, man, I should be more excited for this one, but I just not because I just don't think they did enough. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the IC title. I felt like Gunther and Imperium spent so much time during this build-up to SummerSlam with everyone else, but Gunther and Drew didn't really, you know what I mean? Like, and Drew wasn't even on the show last night.
Yeah.
Right. So
go ahead.
Drew is not with contract right now. He's coming to an end, right? So he hasn't renewed. So the question remains now that Drew is saying that, and don't quote me on it, but this is my understanding, that he's waiting to see what they want to do with him if he wants to sign on. Right. I mean, it'd be stupid for him to go anywhere else. He's not going to get any, anything anywhere else that he would get from WWE, and he's earned his spot. But you know what? That being said, I just don't see Gunther losing right now. I can't. Right? Gunther's not the one to lose, and here's another story, and you're looking, in my opinion, this is Brock's opponent for Mania,
Could be.
right?
I would
For
like
me,
that.
this match doesn't have a lot of build up and a lot of hype, but it doesn't need it. These are just two big, strong guys and they beat the crap out of each other. Chop, punch, kick. This could be one of the matches of the night because they're going to go hard. They're going to do all the big spots. So it doesn't need the build up. Just put these two big brutes in there, let them slug it out. And that's what it's going to be. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
But you're right.
no,
It's a slow build, but it will be. They might steal the show, these two guys. That's how hard they're going to work. So, but yes, Gunther for the win.
No, for sure. And I go back to Clash at the Castle, the match between Gunther and Sheamus. I mean, that was just,
Same idea this is going to be.
Exactly. I get it. It just, but because there was nothing really there to gravitate to, I just felt like, okay, I'm not saying this is the bathroom break match, but they kind of built it to feel that way, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Gunther too. He's just right now, he's putting prestige on that Intercontinental title. And right now, with Drew McIntyre not really committed to WWE, I think he's gonna take a lot of losses, and I think this is a loss he's gonna take. But I hope it's not to the point where he leaves, because where would he go? I mean, he could go to AEW, but it'd be with so many wrestlers, he'd be stuck in that mix, So hopefully, WWE can work something out. I mean, he should be in the world title picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me as a wrestling fan, when I see wrestlers win the world title, why go back to the Intercontinental title? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with Drew. Mm-hmm. Drew does not need to be wrestling for the Intercontinental title. I would rather Dolph Ziggler or somebody wrestle for the Intercontinental title, but then I feel like he's another title contender, So, but to go back to the match, Gunther's gonna win. I think with Drew not committed to WWE right now, I think he's gonna take the loss.
Yep.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, Gunther for the win, man. Straight up. I just think just the most logical solution there. But then again, who knows, right? I mean, shit, anything can happen. And speaking of anything can happen, women's championship, Asuka versus Bianca versus Charlotte. Ooh. Oh, this is a tough one. Asuka. I'm going with my girl Asuka. I think she retains. I think the bickering between Bianca and Charlotte will play a role in this somehow, which will allow Asuka to take the strap here. We're seeing a steady heel turn happening here with Bianca, in my opinion. I think by the time the year ends, she'll be a heel. These are just the little steps that I feel that are all going to take place here. But I think Asuka for the win. And if I was a real champion, I'd say Io comes and cashes in and walks out of SummerSlam as the women's champion. But Asuka to win the match initially.
And
the pin will be on Bianca.
You know what? I want to say Asuka or Charlotte, because I still think slowly but surely they still want to give her the title so she could catch up with her dad. But I want to say Asuka because there's no reason to take the belt off of her just yet, No. And Bianca, I've been hearing about this slow heel turn, but I've also been hearing that they want to keep her as a babyface. Because I guess they got plans for her going into WrestleMania. Hopefully, Bianca and Charlotte, they're bickering and stuff. It goes past the storyline goes past this match. I think that's the next match that Bianca needs. She's beaten 3 members of the 4 Horsewomen, and Charlotte right now, I think Charlotte is the match that she needs. And a slow build, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I think it would be a good story.
No, 100%. I mean, Chance, you.
Asuka, basically what he just said, for the simple fact, we're not gonna take the belt off her this quick. She just got it. She's doing pretty well, so it should be a good match. I have to go with Asuka because I don't think they take it from her this quick. That'd be a slap in the face to her to lose it this fast. Should be a good match though, but Asuka wins.
fair enough. Slap in the face. I mean, we talk about slap in the face. Look what they did to Bianca with Becky.
It does happen, but
right.
but I don't think this time.
I just think Oscar. I'm going to add to my because Oscar winning. You got that built-in story with Io. Those two are just going to put on fucking smashing fights. Those two together, that's just they're ready to go. In terms of Bianca becoming a heel, I think it's the most logical because you got the other big woman, Raquel Rodriguez, or on the other side, who is easily, I don't know, man. I almost feel like Charlotte versus Rhea Mania Part 2. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, we'll see.
That fight was so awesome. I had no expectations for that.
But I think with Bianca Belair, as far as her baby face or heel turn, when she starts to get booed more, I think they have to consider pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna get worse. Like when people got tired of the whole balloons popping up, the whole hugging and stuff.
Yeah.
They had to make that turn, and that was good for her character.
Yeah.
So I think that's what if Bianca starts to get booed, especially if she gets booed at SummerSlam, it might be time to flip that switch.
I think it's going to happen because she's doing those little things. Like she's building her character towards that. You look at it, right? Like Bianca 6 months ago wouldn't have attacked both of them in their match. Bianca 6 months ago wouldn't have done half the shit she's done in the last month.
Yeah, true.
Right? So you're seeing it. And then you see the Profits and what they're doing. Right?
Yeah.
So it's something's brewing. We're going to see something here. All right.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Will it be the Demon? I don't know, but I will say Finn Balor wins this match.
And you have any?
I say Finn Balor will win this match.
No way. Seth just got it. Same thing with Asuka. He's been waiting a long time, paid his dues, waited to get the belt. He just got it. They're not going to give it to Finn. It should be a really good match, but Seth for the W. No, I think that's one of the easiest picks tonight, in my opinion. Seth, what do you think, bud?
I
don't think Finn's champion material, to be honest. I just don't think he is. In my opinion, heavyweight champion. That's me, though.
Honestly, I think Finn needs this win. And the only reason why he needs this win is because he's the leader of the Judgment Day. You can't be a leader of the faction and not have a belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rhea Ripley, in my opinion, should be the leader of the Judgment Day because she's the women's champion. You know what I'm saying? And it's Finn, he's got to win because it's like, how you gonna take him serious and he's not a champion? You know, Dominic's got the NXT belt. Damian Priest has the Money in the Bank briefcase. So everybody has something. He doesn't. You know, all he's doing is talking, and it's time for him. He needs that big win, especially after not really getting a shot when he won the Universal title 7 years ago, and not really getting a shot at the title. He definitely needs this win. So I'm gonna go with Finn Balor. Yeah.
The other piece was, just to piggyback off of that, the reason I picked Finn as well is the way they're building this story. 7 years, right?
Yeah.
WWE doesn't play with real time very well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like someone can get injured on a Tuesday on a Monday Night Raw, but the following Monday they say 3 weeks ago, so-and-so got injured. They just got injured last week. So for them to actually use the timeline properly in this story, it just kind of makes sense. And then I'm also thinking you got your stablemate with the briefcase. So what kind of stories could you get there? And I'm also under the impression I've heard that Seth is looking to leave for a little while. He's looking to get some things fixed. He needs some surgery. So this could potentially be an out for him for the time being. That's what I've heard.
So. I just don't think Finn's a heavyweight champion. His promo is everything about it. I just don't think it's a good idea. And if he does win, he won't have the belt for long because he's just not. I just don't think he's a champion, heavyweight champion. This is my opinion of him. Right? It's just not that popular. There's something about the guy. He just doesn't have that it factor to be the heavyweight champion. That's the way I see it.
Fair enough.
So,
all right,
let's call. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I got 2 Finns and 1 Seth. May the best man win. All right, undisputed Universal Championship match: Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. This is a no-brainer. No matter how much they want to build this fucking story, that man's not going to lose the title till after WrestleMania.
No.
So Roman Reigns for the win, straight up.
Roman Reigns, yeah, all the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman, but I wouldn't mind seeing the upset. I wouldn't mind seeing that big pop of the night.
Bro, we all want to see that big upset, but because he's so close to dethroning Hogan on that all-time list, right? I mean, I almost feel that him fighting Cody again is kind of fruitless if that's the case at Mania, because he won't lose at Mania. He'll leave.
That's
Mania.
what we think, though. We said the same about Undertaker's streak, and then look, when he got Brock to beat him. So something's going to happen on SummerSlam. I don't know if it's the Roman match, the Seth match, what's going to happen.
Yeah,
there's going to be a big surprise that we're not thinking about. There always is.
Well, I mean, there's two cash-ins, right? I mean, that's the two possibilities of a surprise. The other surprise that I could see in this is the emergence of another Uso, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the brothers, there's three. There's a fourth brother hiding somewhere. He's out somewhere wrestling. You got another guy fighting in MLW. You got another Uso fighting in Impact. So there's a chance of another Uso showing up and saving the day, right? Adding to the army that way. I get it, but to your point, Chance, because of the timeline and because of the number they're trying to reach, for them to take it off of him before he gets there would just destroy, like, it'd be just pointless, right? Which is why I don't see him losing till after 41. He won't lose.
Maybe we'll see. You just never know, man. You never know what the old man's thinking.
No, so I get it, but they're just so close, and time is something you can't compete against time. You got to work with time.
Yeah, but they also love big surprises and big moments too. They can't make everything too predictable, and then it's boring and stale, right?
Well,
so I get it. Spice on that steak.
I get it, man. Awesome. So, Mike, yeah.
And I just want to say, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Jey upset Roman for the belt. Had to keep the belt for about 2 months. No. Don't keep the belt no later than Survivor Series. Sorry. Yeah. Go up against Roman at Survivor Series. Let Roman beat him again. And Roman continues his run going into WrestleMania and go up against Cody, and Cody gets his big win. I think if Roman did lose at SummerSlam, I don't think it would hurt. You know, I think it would. It would.
Not a bad idea. What you're saying, I like that.
No, I'm in totally agreement with you as well, man. I think that would be great to see, but I think we got Roman getting pinned at the last show. Was giving, just to alleviate that pressure. When's he going to get pinned, right? I mean, they made such a big deal out of that, so now he's good for another 3-4 months before he has to get pinned. I don't know. I'm just saying, looking at the timeline, just looking at, everything's unpredictable, but I think the biggest surprise would probably be the emergence of another Uso.
But that's not nothing big, though. That's just another...
I get it.
Most people don't know who these Uso guys are.
No, I get it.
It won't be a big surprise, but nobody knows who they are.
And then you can't forget.
I'm talking big surprises.
Yeah, I don't know how many big surprises we're going to get. I think
there's got to be 1 or 2, or else SummerSlam's a dud, right?
I don't know.
So
we'll see.
It's boring.
We'll see.
Then you got the
Rock. It's unpredictable. So an Uso coming out is not a big deal. It's cool for them, but it's not going to make the crowd go crazy, right?
But like I said, I mean, another thing we could potentially see is, whoever wins between Seth and what's his face, Finn.
Yeah.
Damian comes and cashes in, right? Like, I mean, there's something we're not clicking with, right? Pardon me. There might be something else that, we're not seeing, but
we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is a good show.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, you still got The Rock out there. You know what I'm saying? The Rock could come in some way and go face to face with Roman and start another piece of the bloodline story. So, hey, like I said, SummerSlam, it's always a twist or a turn with the bloodline. When you think they're going this way, they take a left or right turn, and when they take a right turn, they take a left turn. So it's just always a twist.
You know what I would like to see, and I mean, I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but this might be the opportunity to do it. Let's get Rikishi out here, man. Let's get the dad out here and, like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about a family divided. Forget Roman Reigns. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy, the Roman, has divided an entire family within his own bloodline.
Yep.
Right? How many
Yep.
brothers go against their brothers, their blood brother?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I mean, from that perspective, Rikishi coming out, like, okay, like they start beating him down so bad after the match, and Rikishi comes out of nowhere, with Jimmy comes out there as well, and let's just get more of the family in there. We need to see more of the aunties and the uncles, and get the Rock's grandma out there, like,
right, yeah,
right, like that's what I'm saying. Like, let's see what they do. Let's see. I mean, the show's a couple days away. We got a couple more sleeps, so a lot is going on down there. You were saying earlier off the air, there's a lot of indie shows. So, with when one of the big four is in your city, you're gonna get a lot more action, man. So,
oh yeah,
I hope you are able to get most of the experiences out there, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always a nice energy when WWE comes to town, because I've been to Monday Night Raw shows, SmackDown shows, and it's just always a good vibe and a good energy.
Yeah, it is.
Detroit is a wrestling city for sure.
Absolutely,
yeah, you're totally right with that.
Yeah, and you guys are lucky, man. You get a lot of great shows, man. Unfortunately, out here in Vancouver, we're privileged to maybe one house show a year.
For real?
Unfortunately, yeah.
We can drive down to Seattle and go to Calgary and Edmonton. There's Raws and SmackDowns there.
Yeah.
Not within a close proximity, no.
No, Seattle is about an hour and a half away from us, so we can.
Oh, so that's not bad.
You know what though? They don't necessarily even run them in Seattle, like Everett, which is 40 minutes out of Seattle. So it's like an hour drive for us, right? Like, so we'll always go to those shows. But unfortunately, I think Canada, you have to look at like Montreal, Ontario, Quebec, Ontario, and probably Alberta as the biggest.
They get the Raw. They got a SmackDown coming up August 11th.
Yeah, they get the Raws and the SmackDowns there because that's the bigger market for them. Like in Vancouver, we have a good market. We have a good following. Our last house show, we sold out.
No, the reason why they don't do Raw and SmackDowns here is because the insurance on the building at Raw is too expensive. They don't want to pay it. It's ridiculous. Like 2 to 3 times as much as the insurance is in Alberta or Ontario or Montreal. So that's why they just gave us a house show. We had an NXT here once or something like that, but we don't get the big shows.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny though. And it's ironic because the show that we got, like, we literally sold out the stadium as if it was a Raw or a SmackDown. And I laughed my face off. AEW can't even fill up the lower bowl.
Oh, for wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Do you watch AEW? And your thoughts on it?
I like AEW. I'm glad that it's another promotion that we can watch when we're not watching WWE. If we had it back in the day with WWE and WCW, and it's good to have that again. And hopefully it get to a point where they're competing with each other again, because they flirted with it with Dynamite and NXT, but I would like to see at a point where Dynamite and Raw are going at it, or Dynamite and SmackDown. At some point they're going up against one of those shows. And so AEW has a nice. They're doing real good. They've been around what 3-4 years now.
4 years now. Going on 4 years. Yeah.
And they're doing well. They're doing well. I got no complaints. They got a big roster. But I think for the most part they're keeping it together.
No, fair play. I don't think it's a sexy place to go anymore though.
Nah.
And that's where, I think about Drew McIntyre and things like that. I mean, at one time, maybe 3 years ago, it would have been an option, but I feel like guys now and girls look at AEW as like, well, I signed here, but what am I doing? Like, look at Miro. Look at Miro. He's just, floating around doing nothing for 2 years. It's like they signed these 3-year contracts and the guy's been on TV 5 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, talk about getting lost in the shuffle. That's just an oversaturated roster, man. Think about the WWE. The roster isn't as saturated. But where's Elias? Where's Rick Boogs? I have not seen those guys in a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
There's
little
only
things
so
like
much TV time. You can't put
exactly.
everybody on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
unfortunate, but that's how it goes.
But that's what the difference between the two organizations are. One's trying so hard to fit everything in. The other organization, WWE, is just basically working within their means and making it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when this merger with WWE and UFC, once it's finally official, it's gonna be interesting to see if they do any more roster cuts.
You'll probably see, from what I have heard, most of the cuts will happen within the office, not so much on the rosters. When
Okay.
Endeavor took over UFC, most of the cuts happened within the front office, within the organization, PR department, stuff like that. Same
Okay.
will probably happen here, because Endeavor's already got their own things in place. So unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of faceless people get let go from
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
The
That's
unfortunate side of business, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, guys, let's wrap this sucker up. It's Thursday night. What is it now for you here, my man? It's almost 8 o'clock in the evening for you, right? So no, wait, 3:30, 6:30 in the evening for you. Still daylight out, man. So get together, relax, enjoy the evening, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Much appreciated.
And
no problem. No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
No, 100%, brother, man. And maybe we can kind of make this a routine for the Big Four. We'll get you on, and or once you're up and running and you got your shows running, we can come on your show and then kind of do this back and forth stuff, and let's spread the word, man. Let's get it out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just want to make a quick announcement. Episode 2 of Wrestling from the 313 will also premiere this Thursday, 12 p.m.
Eastern
Just make
Standard
sure
Time.
you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think it's called X now or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's not called
just
Twitter
hit me up
anymore?
on all this.
No, I changed it to X for Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, awesome, fantastic. We'll put that in the description. We'll put all your links in the description so everyone can follow you.
Cool.
Brother man, all I ask of you, my friend, is that you share this with everyone on your platforms as well, so we get all our names out there, and let's rip this up, man. I almost feel that we should have you back next Tuesday just to kind of go over the show and see where all our predictions went. Would you be interested?
Definitely.
All right, man. I'll hit you up after the show. We'll talk and we'll set something up. But that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson. Joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. And debuting on the show, Mr. Mike D from the 313, Detroit in the house. Thank you
guys.
And in the words of Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance and Mike D. Check you later.
Peace.